You guys, today was voting day and you have disappointed me. I have showed you guys the messages, where to find how to vote. And every time it's time to vote, y'all say, how do I vote? If on voting day, you can't find how to vote, it's already too late, sweetie. We only got 15 minutes, okay? So here is the rundown before the finale, because if y'all fail for the finale, honestly, I'm deleting the channel. I'm not deleting the channel. That's a little bit extra. Hold on now. I'm not deleting the channel, but y'all really come on, okay? So what you need to do is get a VPN, the most basic VPN. All it needs to do is access the UK so that you can go on itv.com. And where you want to go is itv.com/vote/LI. Okay? From there, it'll say, what show do you want to vote on? You will say Love Island. You need to somehow get a UK number. Whether it is, what suggestions were people giving on Discord? Because we need to help each other out. You could go on temporary UK phone number. Literally just Google that. Quacker. ReceiveSMS.com. You could use Text Plus. Honey, it does not matter. As long as it is a UK number. All right? Once you register that number, it'll send you a code to verify your number, even though we know we don't live in the UK. It doesn't matter. We're just trying to vote. The way that the people them pulled up for Ekansu and Davide to win, I need y'all to pull up this season for whoever you want to win. I mean, y'all know who I want you to win, but I don't want it to seem like I'm enforcing my wishes on you, but like, y'all need to vote. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island season 10 episode 44. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Let's jump straight in. Abby is still begging Scott. She is still begging Scott for reassurance, and honestly, the man is not going to give you what you are looking for. He literally said, I'm here, you're here, I need you to meet me in the middle, which means you gotta lower yourself to not be compatible with this man. Absolutely not. I like Scott here and there, but for a man to say that with his full chest and for the woman to sit there and nod in agreement, absolutely not. He just told you to lower your standards, and you just agreed. No, we're not doing that. Also, they only connect when they speak about Mitch, because here is Mitch again in the conversation, and this is the most lively conversation they've had in a few days. That is also an issue. Why can't you guys actually build on that connection? Y'all talk about slow burn. Okay, well, how about we start to use fire instead of kindling? Because the kindling has burnt out. We need some firewood to sustain this fire, sweetie. Talk about slow burn. Get out of here. Whitney tells Scott that fancying somebody isn't enough, which is true. And that interest requires intentionality. And the reality with Scott is that he's not intentional about Abby. He might be interested in her. He might fancy her. He might find her attractive. But if the intentionality and the consistency is not there, that's all shit to me. Like she said to Abby yesterday, you speak to men like this. Look at the actions. The words are great, especially if you are a words of affirmation person. I can understand how you're thinking, nah, but I need to hear the words as well. Obviously, that needs to come with it. But the words need to correspond with the actions. And right now, regarding Scott and Abby, they're not. Let's just be for real. He says that there's something there, but then he also told his family that there's something missing. So exactly. The words and the actions, they don't line up, Scott. I'm so sorry. Lock-in has been inspired by the sheer cat suit that Miss Whitney was wearing at the talent show. I mean, that along with the fact that the family introduction went well. And he's now decided to make things exclusive. He said, in and out of the villa, you were the only person that I want to get to know. And so let's be exclusive. The whole girlfriend-boyfriend thing is something that we will tackle down the road. Now, I'm always back and forth when it comes to Whitney and Lock-in. I love it. I love that she can be authentically herself. I love that he also doesn't seem like he's forcing it. And whenever I say I'm iffy about them, it's not what I see. It's literally just how I feel. But the thing is, this is an edited show. right? So our feelings are always going to be subject to what they show us and not what is actually happening. So yeah, I would like to see what their life on the outside would look like. It'll be irrelevant at that point because we had already voted for whoever the winner is going to be. Hopefully it's Whitney. And I'm not imposing my wishes on you guys. I'm not. I swear I'm not. But yeah, I mean, they're exclusive, which to me is a relationship. But in Love Island, that means something else. So happy days for Whitney. She's excited about that. If y'all thought Maddie giving Whitney a massage was awkward, Mitch giving, what's her name now? Ella B a massage was so weird to me. I don't know if I was the only one who noticed, but he was throwing little jabs at her here and there. Like he had said, he had said her bum is big. And in 2023, that's more of a compliment than it is an insult like it was in the 90s. And he had also said, are you enjoying it? Otherwise, I'm wasting my time. He had said something else too. I forget. But I was just like, okay, is this a chore or are you doing this out of the kindness of your own heart? Because if it was me getting that massage, I would just tell you to hop off because goodness sakes, don't make it seem like I'm forcing you into this. It's really not a that thing. I promise you. Whitney speaks volumes in saying that the lack of attention sometimes makes us want somebody more. And that's the case with Scott and Abby. I think that, is Scott breadcrumbing Abby? I think that he is. I think he's breadcrumbing her. Basically where you give just enough to keep the woman around, but not enough to really like make your feelings for her known. You know what I mean? So she's still trying to figure out if Scott is really into her. The villa's still trying to figure out if Scott is really into her. But what keeps her around is the little glimpses of interest that he gives her. And I'm just like, Scott, this ain't right. In the words of Mitch, they both need to just buck up and say, we're incompatible. Because this back and forth is a waste of everybody's time. It's a waste of camera time. There are more things that I want to see than Scott and Abby having the same discourse for the 11th time. It's enough. I'm tired. Let's move on. Time for the Grafties. Whoo, the Grafties. The Grafties were interesting, okay? So the first one was the flirtiest performance, and they showed clips of Abby and Scott talking to each other, which is why Abby's argument is so irrelevant, basically saying that, oh, Mitch disrespected me or whatever. You started it. You started it. And in the same way that Mitch will say one thing and do another, Abby does the same damn thing. And the way that they be so ready to backbite at each other, I'm like, honestly, either get together or shut the hell up because this is annoying, all right? They also showed the clip of Ty telling Ella B it was a shame that was their last kiss. And Ty starts flipping out.
Fucking hell, bro.
No, I think it's a shame for her. That's what I meant. So I kissed it.
I can see how that conversation.
Allow it, man, please, bro.
No,
no one's even getting on to you, though. Why are you even
it
doing
wasn't a bad conversation.
I don't want to hear you can see how. I don't want to hear that.
The way that you said that, I could see how she took it the wrong way, yeah.
You would see that, though.
What?
You just see the worst.
What are you actually talking about?
Whatever, no, run the next tape.
Listen, at the end of the day, she wasn't saying he was outright flirting with me. She said she was getting mixed messages. And even Ella, OG, admitted that from that clip, you can see how Ella B came to that conclusion. So later on, when she's trying to come at Ella B, I'm like, no, baby. Run the tapes again because you just said you can see how Ella B would come to that conclusion. All right? And the fact that nobody on the internet could come to a consensus means that it was a mixed message. All right. Ella B won that round, and she did admit, I don't think she realized, but she did admit that her first choice was Ty. However, she failed in her pursuit. So when she's talking about, oh, it's always been Mitch from day one, no, baby, it was not. The next one, I didn't get the title for, but it showed clips of Jess on a date with Josh. I totally forgot who Josh was, honestly. I was like, oh, that did happen. And Sammy's like, well, things would be different if if the shoe was on the other foot. And I'm like, the shoe has been on the other foot for the entire season. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So I don't know where he's going out acting as if, Jess had done this great disrespect to him when he had been doing this to her the entire time. The only argument he has is the fact that happened when they were closed off. But let's not talk about shoe on the other foot. She's been wearing all the shoes. Clown shoes, to be exact. She borrowed them from Abby. Moving on. The next one was, the next clip, not me moving on to the next grafty. The next clip showed Mitch saying that he'd rather be in bed with Ella, and Abby was pressed over it. Honestly, girl, get over it. And Zach saying that his gut is telling him something is off with Abby, but he refuses to say what is actually going off, right?
My gut's talking to me about something, and I don't really know what.
What? What's your gut telling you?
Yeah, what's your gut telling you?
We've had this chat.
We didn't get to hear what your gut was telling you.
Was it Katie?
Well, it was after the VIP party. Guess who went home? So it couldn't have been, could it? That narrative's so finished. Please.
Everybody on the internet, not everybody, a lot of people on the internet speculate that Zach is keeping his cards close to his chest because in reality, would he stick with Molly this long? We don't know. In reality, could post-nut clarity change his opinion on where this relationship is going? We don't know, right? So I think it is best for him to be like, oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm not going to address it because I highly doubt this relationship would see itself a year from now. That is just my personal opinion. That's not me wishing they don't, because some people, listening comprehension is just not working these last few videos. But that's just me speculating that I just don't see longevity with them. That's just how I feel. Mitch won that category. The next one was who was the most snaky. Abby was seen spiraling over Mitch and calling out his relationship with Ella B. Jess was thinking Zach is the issue in his relationship. And Locken was just staying with Whitney over Abby. Now, Abby won the title. And it's after she won that Ty decided to pipe up and have an attitude. God knows why.
Look at me, Pillar talking too hard with his girl.
Huh? Say it again.
What'd you say?
His points are relevant. He's just piping up for no reason.
Nah.
Classic.
Nah, big man, big man, big man. Don't say what I'm saying irrelevant, because it ain't
Abby
irrelevant.
caught that
Might be
information
relevant to you,
regardless.
but it ain't.
Everyone catches
I'm talking to your man,
information.
shush, man.
No.
Don't be rude, bro.
I know,
Don't
but
be
why
rude.
are you being rude
I
for?
wanna talk to you, what?
But why are you being
What, I can't
rude
talk to you.
for?
Can't you speak to someone
Like-
normally?
I'm convinced that somebody was in his ear because where did this come from? The time for the dialogue was during the nominations and he had nothing to say. It's only after Abby won and I feel like somebody said a little in his ear because they do wear, what are they called? In-ears. Where he was like, okay, yeah, let me say something. Because where is this coming from? And honestly, Tyrique is such a turd. Tyrique is such a turd. And for me, if I was with somebody like Tyrique, I would have an issue with the way that he talks to people, especially to women. Yet time and time again, I have yet to see, I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I have yet to see Ella actually check Tyrique for how he talks to other women, especially women she considers friends. Now, Whitney and her have made up, but they did have the little tiff there, so maybe people would say, well, they're not really friends. Fine, he's done it to Jess too. Shit, he's done it to Ella. So, I personally would have an issue with the way he talks to women. And I told you about these my man girls. They turn a blind eye when their man is acting a madness, and then the man be acting a madness to them, and they're looking around for their friends, and their friends are nowhere to be found because you just wanted to be in the center of you and your man's relationship. Listen. I've been there. I'm speaking from experience. All right. This ain't even got to do with Ella now. This is me talking about me. Moving on. The next category was the what the F moment. Sammy was seen pushing Josh away after that recoupling where Josh chose Jess. Jess was saying that she's open to Josh getting to know her. And Molly was confronting Katie and Whitney. Molly won that category, but I'm still confused on what the category was about. I guess that's what WTF is about, hey? Like, well, what the hell was that? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let's move on. The best head-to-head showed clips of Whitney telling Zach he's playing it safe, Ella telling Ella to keep her name out of her mouth, and Abby and Mitch going at it and him calling her obsessed, and Ella won that one. Mad Moves was Zach going in for the kiss with Katie, and he miraculously forgot that he had a conversation with Molly prior to about her not having the desire to kiss anybody. Now, if they hadn't shown the clip, I would have been like, okay, cool. But they literally showed the clip of the conversation. And then Zach was playing dumb. Molly girl, sweetie, like, no, Zach, Like, there's just too many ambiguous things with Zach that if I was a friend of Molly, I would say this is cause for concern. Like I said a few episodes ago, if not the last episode, he says a lot, but when you really dissect what he's saying nothing. And so now again, he's literally seeing a conversation and miraculously not recalling. Or maybe he just didn't recall the timeline, like, you know, the sequence in which the conversations happened. But like, come on, no. Nah, Zach is acting dense. I'm sorry. Zach is acting dense, 1000%. We had Ty egging on Ella B to interrupt Abby and Mitch. And Mitch saying that things were forced with Ella after all that big talk he was saying to Ella B about how he's so loyal and he's whatever. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You have this duplicitous nature about you, which Abby has as well. And it's no wonder why these two started going at it again.
Said obsessed.
I stand by what I said.
I think that was mainly my voice. I don't think you really spoke much in that.
My clip, my nomination, not yours. Just sit there, please. Thank you.
Listen, I could be a petty babe. And the petty return for me, if I was Scott in that situation, would have been, maybe I didn't have the desire to kiss her then, but I'd be kissing her now. Where are your kisses? You begging for handholding, let alone not getting kisses. No coffees in the morning. Yeah. But anyways, something happened after that. Ooh. Mitch won. And then he was apologizing to both the women for how he was two-timing them, essentially. And Scott's comments really hit a nerve with him.
Anyone else want to add anything to the bad moves, or forever hold your peace? No? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Sit down.
Please sit down.
Bro, shut up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get back to our real relationships, yeah?
What words have come out of my mouth?
Knobhead, and that's why I retaliate.
Does anyone disagree?
This whole villa is so damn rude. They can be so rude to each other. And I'm just like, wow. Like, I don't remember being that rude in my early 20s. Maybe in my head. Or maybe if somebody did me dirty, but like, off rip like that? I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit, that's a little bit concerning to me, but okay. Scott is now caught because in him trying to be slick at the mouth, he had a slip of the tongue and agreed to something that Mitch said, which made Abby question what he was trying to agree to.
Said you're forcing it with Abby. Said you're not bothered.
There's nothing I haven't said to her. I mean, I never said I'm not bothered. I've never said I'm not bothered anyway. I've never said I'm not bothered. I said we were forcing it.
This is why you gotta just shut up sometimes. When you have your own mess and you have the audacity to insert yourself in other people's mess, that mess comes and hits you right in the face, because now she's hearing that it's forced and whatever else he said. And I'm just like, oh, you thought you was big man. You thought you was big man. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes Scott's comments, I'd be like, ooh, he ate that. Oh, he ate that. But he got caught. And I hope that Abby's paying attention to the words that are being said and the actions that are being portrayed, because Scott is just not into her, man. And I hate that he keeps saying that he is. Like, stop gaslighting the girl. You're not. Honestly, being on Love Island in general, when people say, I'm a slow burn, man, get out of here. Get out of here. Worse, if you're at the end of the process, being in a couple with Abby as long as you have, pursuing this woman when she was in a couple with somebody else, just for you to have the audacity to say, I'm a slow burn. No. Abby, you need to leave that man. Scott, you need to leave that girl. Both of y'all need to leave that villa. Following shortly should be Ella B and Mitch, so we can get to the final and vote for who we want. Again, guys, set up your voting situation before the episode ends. Sometimes it's hard to predict. I understand. But at least register your VPN and have it there so that you can just click run and then you can vote easily. That's number one. Number two, the finale is fast approaching. And like I said in the beginning, you don't have to vote for who I would like for you to vote for, but you just need to vote. If you can, and if you can figure it out. Just vote. Because then I feel like whoever wins, it's more justified and it doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, like this thing was rigged. Oh my gosh. We like to say things like, oh, Fiat 500 came in droves to vote for so-and-so. Yeah, because they band together and they vote. So we need to band together and also vote, okay? Okay. As always, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.